The second reason for the crisis lies in the West's constant attempts to drag Ukraine into NATO, which, as we have repeatedly emphasized and said over many years, poses a direct threat to Russia's security. Incidentally, as a result of the coup d'état in Ukraine in 2014, the country's political leadership, which did not support Ukraine's accession to the North Atlantic Bloc, NATO, was removed.
A multipolar world is being formed. Western countries are trying to prevent this, trying to maintain their dominance by resorting not to negotiations, not to methods of fair competition, but to direct blackmail, pressure, sanctions, and, of course, the colossal abuse of the dollar's role in world affairs, the tariff wars that the United States imposes on everyone else.
How would you rate today's talks as a whole and this entire summit?
There were not so much talks as there were two summits. The SCO, and then the SCO plus with the participation of 12, I think, countries that are observers, dialogue partners, or were invited by the Chinese President Xi Jinping. It was a very meaningful discussion based on different examples and initiatives, but it was moving in the same direction. A multipolar world is being formed. Western countries are trying to prevent this, trying to maintain their dominance by resorting not to negotiations, not to methods of fair competition, but to direct blackmail, pressure, sanctions, and, of course, the colossal abuse of the dollar's role in world affairs, the tariff wars that the United States imposes on everyone else. And the general opinion was that all this had nothing to do with an attempt to defend the legitimate rights of the West in the global economy and in world politics, but was simply being used as a means of suppressing competitors. It is obvious to everyone that the competitors have not just grown up, but are already ahead of the historical and collective West in most indicators. And this is the determination, I would say, not succumbing to provocations. defending their rights in full compliance with international law, the UN Charter, and the principles of the international monetary and financial trading system, which the West itself promoted at the time. This determination, the focus on defending their legitimate interests, it is evident. This is probably the main result of the SCO and SCO Plus summits. And a number of initiatives have been introduced, including by the President of the People's Republic of China on the reform of global governance, the development of a green economy, and cooperation in the field of modern technologies, including artificial intelligence. All this has been taken into account and will be discussed in the SCO bodies when Kyrgyzstan takes over the chairmanship from tomorrow.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.